Welcome to Apaxim, World at Evolution. Well, today I'm going to talk about Don Rickles and the big elephant. Don Rickles, I wrote it. A voyage into the American psyche, revealing the big elephant in the room. Laughter comes from revealing a truth that everyone pretends to ignore. That big elephant in the room. The great secret of the emperor who has no clothes. Laughter. Rickles managed to simplify a culture by acting and to educate us in just 5 minutes with sarcasm of the big elephant in the room that everyone is pretending to ignore. Comedy, sarcasm, it's truffles. Bravo! You revealed to me the American psyche, so easily programmable as sheep. Excellent comedians, well versed in sarcasm, are the finest comedy of all. It has a punch and a punchline. It stings, it bites, because it reveals the great family secret. Rickles, he had a very special way of offending in order to educate. Yes, educate. Or show us the big elephant in the room, so horrible and cruel, a beast of the abyss, and make us laugh at our collective ugliness. He changed America for the best. He opened the doors to the horrendous truths. He was a mirror letting us see into the subconscious of the American psyche. He exposed, with certain obvious reserves, cultural aspects of the collective subconscious. I was watching it today, and a doctor and professor told me how it would be illegal nowadays to have those shows on mass media. But personally, I would not doubt it. I learned a lot about the horrible stereotypes created and endorsed by television in those days. I stepped back and I said to myself, America has certainly changed a lot since the 80s. Nevertheless, that used to be the culture of the 70s and 80s that I can remember. And yes, we have changed. America has changed a lot since the last time I saw it. Discrimination against African Americans and Mexicans, even though it continues to exist, is no longer on the airwaves allowed directly. Now, those shows where Don Rickles appeared were national television networks, which meant everyone saw them. However, they have censored themselves because of lawsuits, I assume. Nevertheless, what amazes me the most is how intolerant society has become regarding censoring words and at the same time barbarically executes its own children in the womb. It's complete hypocrisy to care about tithing the mustard and forgetting about bigger things. That is the big elephant in disguise: abortion. It calls itself by many names: freedom of choice, liberty, emancipation, pleasure, etc., when unmistakably is nothing but a hitman, a hired assassin of tens of millions in the United States of America alone, and more than 1 billion children exterminated worldwide. It's a hitman, a genocide. It's bad, really bad. Killing children inside the wombs of their moms by severing their limbs and chopping them into pieces is barbaric, far worse than what radical Islamists do against Christians. We're talking about little children inside the wombs of their moms. Tell me, if there is a more horrendous way to die than to be dismembered inside the womb of your mom. That is where we are now. You think discrimination against African Americans and Mexicans has stopped? It's worse now. They've moved into the genocidal agenda of the plan. Proof is simple. What percentage of humans has been exterminated by abortion? More than 20% worldwide. All of them human beings. Ain't that a tell? Something is happening. Ain't that a tell? One would think the United Nations is an institution worried about protecting human lives, until you find out the agenda to exterminate humans comes from the United Nations. Sarcasm at its best. I hope it makes you laugh, or at least think. Have I been anesthetized with the collective to support and endorse the extermination of human beings? Are there people amongst us who, betraying humanity, are receiving, in quotations, 30 silver coins, close quotations, in order to present us before the executioner? Think, what cause should be the most important cause of all? What, whales, penguins? To save human lives. Obviously. Isn't that our mission? To save human lives? Then, why do we destroy them in abortion? Because we have been brainwashed to do so through mass subliminal programming using telecommunications and miseducation. Did you know that if you're in if you have the power of educating people, if you're a leader in your nation, the United Nations, through its different funds, will increase your salary by 250, 500,000, $1 million a year, depending on how many people you influence. That is miseducation. That is the United Nations. That's what they do. Yes, you are right. Humans are driven like sheep into the slaughter under their own consent and encouraged by other humans. Now, why does this remind me of the gas camps and the Gestapo? How can they be? Humans are so easy to handle so that they can turn against each other like zombies. And this they know because they put it to practice. See, saving human lives from hitmen, it's a duty of all of us together as one, protecting human lives from a culture of hitmen, death, wars, power, and an army of zombies. We need to stand together as one. We need to unplug those who are anesthetized by the matrix, awake them to life, educate them, write, speak, pray. Remember, our words are more powerful than their lies. Our mission as humans is to save human lives, to protect them, to teach them so that they live. We need to make them aware of a non-violent solution. Killing another human being, offering that sacrifice is wrong. A hitman culture is wrong because we will all be exterminated if we do not awake. 20% thus far. So, pro culture of life. Avoid ignoring the big elephant because the joke is on you if you do not awake soon. And this is Apaxim, World at Evolution. Juan, Eduardo, Alvear, Fuentes, presente. Bueno, espero que esto sirva.